Welcome to a series on Star Technology. It's a mod pack about GregTech, Create, and Skyblock. Just about the usual Skyblock mod pack with a little bit of a twist. That twist being dreaded GregTech mod pack. People don't know it's a technology mod pack based on trying to replicate industrial processes and overcomplicating some things. Like in this mod pack, it's not the case, but for example, on GTNH, the bed is not the vanilla recipe, it's a little bit more complex and it takes like 20 minutes to make one bed. But here, fortunately, it's not the case. Some things are left vanilla, which is going to speed up the early game a lot. In addition to other modpacks like Create, for example, they are going to make the beginning stages of the game a lot easier. So yeah, there are a couple of things. First, you have Ultimine, if you want to break several things in just one go. For example, the trees, mega useful in the beginning. You can also do shaped placing of blocks, like this, for example. That will also come useful eventually for building, though I don't really use it that much. Yeah, and there's the quest book here. We'll try to speed through this. We're going to do a little bit of create in the beginning, then it's not going to stay useful for long. And eventually we're going to move to LV, low voltage tier, and we're not going to stay there for too long. We're going to try to get to MV as fast as possible, and once we reach MV, we're rushing applied energy sticks so we can do the funny stuff to auto-craft things. Some of these recipes are just annoying to deal with. For example, a pump takes a screw, that you need bolts, that you need rods, that you need ingots to make, etc, etc. So it's not very pleasant. Yeah. First thing we need to do is gather some materials so we can do the starting setup. And we'll try to go as fast as possible on this early game stage of the game. Yeah, based on the typical skyblock, normally you start with a chest. In fact, we'll make a double chest now. For all of the stuff. Normally you start with a chest with lava and stuff, that's how you make a cobblestone. In this case, there's a little bit of a different start. You don't need lava, you can just get them out of nowhere. By right-clicking grass while shifting, you can get a bunch of pebbles. These pebbles then can be crafted into their respective materials. And that's how you get stone in the early game. It's annoying, it's tedious, it's manual, but it is what it is. Nothing we can do about it. And another resource that's going to be needed in the early game is string. In order to get string, first you need to make a crook. You can make it out of wood, out of stone, out of diamond, but we're going to use stone as of now. And once you get this crook, you're going to get silkworms. In this case, we only got one. And then you can put it on leaves, so it starts infesting and spreading. Once this tree is fully infected, we can break it with the crook again to get some string. So for now, we'll just progress to the early stages. Just standard stuff. And eventually we'll get to the funny things. Another thing we're going to need is more resources. As of now we're rather limited, but there's a little bit of a trick. Well, it's not really a trick, it's just game design. You can crush cobblestone with a hammer, and you can get gravel. If you crush it again, you can get sand, and if you crush it again, you can get dust. That's another quest done. The rewards for most of these quests, some of them have no reward, like this one or this one, will give you star coins. These coins, you can exchange them for several things, like for example gravel, bronze, wafers, hatches, tools. Most of these are not really worth it. You can go for steel if you want to speed up or circuits. One of the things I like to purchase are fortune measures for stealing. But most importantly, the jet boots is what we're trying to get. Yeah. Once this is fully infested, we can break it down and we get a lot of string. We're gonna get a little bit extra just for using as much as we want later. And then with these strings we can make meshes. These meshes can be used for sieving, which is how we're going to get most of resources. Now, one thing we want to make as fast as possible is both the composter and an oak barrel. This one. The oak barrel, you can feed it with saplings, 4 of them to be precise. It's not this barrel. That's not a good start. It's a crucible, not a barrel. And again, you can feed it with 4 saplings. It's the same for the stone one, 4 items at a time, and it takes time to process, but this is how we're going to get water. The other element is going to be the composter. And this composter, you can feed it organic materials such as apples or saplings to get bone meal, in theory. I kind of didn't. That's completely on me. Yeah. And store this for later, so we don't need to go through this process again. We're going to get a lot of saplings in order to get the 7 mole meal we're going to need. Another thing, you can pick up containers. For example, either a chest, a crafting table, a furnace, a composter. You cannot pick up the composter, but you can pick this up and the contents remain the same. In order to avoid the incident from before, we're going to put it closer. Now it's just feeding it. Having obtained 7 bone meal, we really won't need wood in a long time, so we can store that. You can get a lot more saplings if you use the crook, by the way. I was being kinda dumb, so I didn't do that. Took a little bit longer than probably needed. And finally we have our first water buckets. Now we need a wooden barrel. This one. To be 6 stripped blocks. An unused wooden bucket, and with this wooden barrel, we can... With this we cannot really do anything yet, but we can start preparing. We're going to need 2 dust. So we make it into gravel, we make it into sand, we make it into dust, and we can store them here for now. We're going to do also the wooden sieve, or just a sieve, and let's make 5 of them. And with this platform and the sieves, we can just place them and put the meshes. And now we're going to need gravel, so we can just make a cube. Break it into gravel, and we can filter it. By filtering, we can obtain new resources. In this case, it's iron, copper, zinc, or tin. So we can keep progressing. The rates are kinda You're not guaranteed a drop for every item you sieve. We use Fedi 36, we didn't get that. Feel lucky with the iron, actually. Now we can just melt these ores. It's not the only resource we can sieve. We can also do sand dust. Let's start with sand. Got absolutely nothing. Okay, that was not really lucky. And we can also do dust. We got some pearls, some glowstone, redstone. This thing is kinda useless, so I'm not going to keep it. And that's iron. Another thing we're going to need is a campfire. So we can start placing it already. Somewhere here. And with this campfire and the iron we have, we can make we can put it here, and it takes 20 seconds, and we can make wrought iron. Wrought iron is like at the next tier of iron, just that better, needed for machines. And for now it's rather slow to procure. It's going to be the same for glass, until we get a multi-block for it. Oh, yeah. The elements here. Now that we have iron, finally, we can start opening the create area. Ah, that's more than enough. So we can make, that's way too many shafts. Yeah, we can finally start doing create stuff. Now we could be smart, we could do diesel engines, we can do a lot of things. I am not going to be bothered. I'm just going to go water wheels. If we overstress the system, I'm just going to make more water wheels. And now, do we have finally have... We can make a create area now. Let's just take it here. Expand a little bit. Create machine. A little thing we forgot while pursuing the create path is the dust we put in this barrel. We can feed it water and we can make it into clay. Now this clay we can make a cutting board. Is probably one of the most efficient methods we can do. We need a shovel for it. We can just put the clay on it and get 8 clay. We only need 7. Combine it with this, with the bone meal. We make a crucible. We fire the crucible. We put it on a campfire. Now it marks that it has heat. We feed it 4 cobblestone, like on the other crucible, and we'll start making lava. It's slow, it's not scalable or automatable, but it's the only way we have as of now. This lava is going to be super useful, because we're going to need to make... Should prioritize that now. We're going to use it to make the cobblestone barrel. We're going to need a lot of iron too. First, we're going to make a block of iron. And now we're going to go into the mechanical press. First proper create machine. Now we can make the mechanical press. We can also make the depot. That's going to be the first of our machines. If you want to take it further, you can always go into diesel generation. You could also go into steam generation. We're not going to do any of that. There's better ways to make power, even in the early game. So yeah, this is way too slow. We could use it, but it's going to take ages. So the thing is, we want to increase the speed by changing from big wheel to small wheel over and over again. Every time it spins faster. That's going to be the crane setup. It's janky, it's suboptimal. I am not a crane guy. I don't really want to make something pretty. That's too high now. I just want something that works. And now we can place the depot. Why did we do this even? Like, what's the whole point? The whole point is that now we can take the metal we don't have. So we cannot really do much. And we're going to need a fair amount of metal actually. So let's sacrifice the glowstone we have. So the first 6 ingots are going to be used for making 3 buckets. Kinda mess up because we cannot make the buckets with another 6 ingots, so we're going to have to wait for that. And now with these ingots we have, we can make another hammer. This time the expensive kind of hammer, the grafting hammer. This hammer plus the plates we had, we can make into 2 buckets. There's another way to make plates. If you, for some reason, hate yourself, it's 2 to 1 instead of 1 to 1. I would not recommend. And that's how we can get lava. Finally, we can do the stone barrel. We can just place it here, for example. And we can put the lava inside. And if we just fill it water, we need to change the circuit. The circuit is a way of telling the machine which recipes to run. In some cases, this could make, for example, 2 different items, and by choosing the right circuit, you can ensure you get the one you want. It's annoying to do this now. It's slow, it's manual, but it will get better eventually. Once we have this, we can just check this to confirm that we read it, we can progress somewhere more efficiently. The first thing we want is this item from Thermal Series. This will ensure that if it's in an infinite water source, we have an interface on which we can pull water from. It does not need to be this. You can just use a... Which one is it? A kinetical pump. From what I understand, you can just put this in the water source and it will be able to pull. But I don't want to take a line of mechanical power from there to here or anything. I just don't like create that much. So we're just going to go into this. So the first thing we need is blackstone. The way to get blackstone is on the bottom formation with witch water. And in order to get witch water, you need mycelium spores on a wooden barrel. To get mycelium spores, you need to shift mud. In order to get mud, you need to soak the dirt in the wooden barrel. So we're going to need dirt. Where do we get dirt from? We can get some of it from here. That's 2 of them. Yeah, it's only 2, I know. But if you combine it, gravel, you can make coarse dirt. And with this coarse dirt, you shift it, and you can make dirt. Dirt can be sealed for other products. I definitely did that on purpose. We're going to need to drink 1 more. Redo it. There is a chance you get some gravel back, so you can do this infinitely. Shifted more dirt without wanting it. Put a cactus at least. Yeah, now we have 10 dirt. We can keep doing this. With fortune, you can do this infinitely. We don't have fortune, so we cannot do this infinitely. We can get some dirt. Now we can just replace the hole we made. We can put it here. And now here comes the very annoying process of feeding it manually. Now we can save this. The early game is very similar. Just get new materials, save it, process it, etc, etc. And there are a couple of things obvious here. One being sugarcane. This doesn't matter. Another being Slitake spores. But for now, Mycelium spores. With these Mycelium spores, we can feed water. We have to change the mode. Machines all have different modes. You have shocking. In this case, we want transformation, and it's going to make witch water. It takes 20 whole seconds. So yeah, it's more annoying than before. Now we have witch water here. We could do the process again, or we can take advantage of the machines. We can select which side of the block to accept inputs from or outputs from. In this case, we want to output on the right to this block with right clicks for the fluids, and it will feed here automatically. That's how you get blackstone. Now that we have blackstone, same process as before, you crush it, and you sieve it, and we get nothing. This is exactly what we want. Galena ore. Not counting this because we have not done the witch water thingy, so that. Sometimes there's going to be an annoying process. This is going to be one of them. For this quest to unlock, we need witch water. In order to have the witch water achievement, we need to hold a packet of witch water. So how much galena ore do we need? We need 4 ingots. So we need 4 of galena ore. And that's exactly what we needed. Now we have this galena ore. We can go into this, but there's a little something we don't have. First is glass, which is not that annoying. That redstone silver we need for redstone. And we only have one. Again, if we want to know how to get one resource, we can just put it on not enough items or just enough EMI. I don't know which one it is. You can shift dust. And the reason I'm feeding it that much is because we're going to need close to a stack of redstone for one of the next elements, so might as well just do it now. Apart from needing the bucket, we're going to need 2 more plates, so we need 5 plates in total. And this is fast. So now, we're missing the glass, mainly. In order to get glass, we need to put it on the campfire, and we need glass dust. In order to get glass dust, we need to mix quartz sand and tiny pin of flame dust, or we can do the bigger recipe. And for this we need to crush sand, and for that we need an iron mortar, which is 5 stone, 2 iron. But, as before, we don't really have the resources, so time to print them. Sand, and we need 1 gravel, and we just need a flint. Fine. Now we can mortar it, and the sand, and in the end we can just make the crafting recipe to get 8 glass dust. Oh, there they go. Finally, we have our aqua accumulator. We can just plant it here. And this haven't built all to output. So we need the next element. That's going to be a pipe. And we can just collect the things. And we can make a pipe. These are the pipes we want to use, the ones from pipes. Which we need bronze and copper. We can make the copper pipes, we cannot really make the bronze. So how do we make the copper and the bronze? We can go the dust route. For that we can just grab. Before that, we're going to do something. As of now, it's kind of annoying to have to do this manually. Melting ores, waiting and stuff. And it takes coal, which we don't have automated as of now. And we quite frankly don't want to get into that yet. So, we're going to do a little trick called the encased fan. For that we need 4 iron plates. And maybe I can just fit it here. Yeah. It's in the right position. Okay. So we need a piece of stone, diorite for example. And we're going to need lava as well, that's why I put it here before. And we're going to need some slabs too. So let's just make some diorite slabs since we're using this material. We're going to give it. So, you can put slabs so it won't affect the flow of air, as we can see. And I just want to make sure nothing burns. And not optimal at all. But we can put lava here, and it's going to make hot air. And if we just keep expanding this platform once more... Caveman. Now we have this. Rest of the items we can just get rid of. Turn this useless material back to where it belongs. And now we can just throw everything that we want smelted in there, and it will get automatically done. Either. So probably should make a pickaxe, but cannot be bothered. I'm curious, can I shift diorite? I am extremely curious now. I've never tried that. Because if I can and I get the same thing as cobblestone, it's not that useless. It is extremely useless. Diorite is the most useless thing in existence. But yeah, in the time took, it's probably even faster than this, we got all of our ores smelted. This is as far as this first section is going to go. There's more done. This is in fact recorded inside of the replay mod, so I can show the state of how it's supposed to be at this point. It's becoming too long of a video, so I don't want to make it even longer, and I still have a lot of things I have done. This mod pack is extremely addicting once you get going, so there's still a lot of things that I just did, and I still have to edit to properly show, but for now this is the state of the world. We have gotten both barrels, so we can make, for example, witch water, clay. We can make cobblestone and blackstone now, even if not automated. We have an interface to which to pull water from. We have the basics done, and we have a really crude create setup in which we can just use a press and use an incase fan in order to melt a lot of ores without using coal and very quickly. A super smelter might still be quicker, but it's going to eat coal. It's not worth to do as of now. So for the time being, yeah, this is going to be it, and well, see you in the next one.